Alright, so I guess it makes the most sense to just start from the very beginning. So I got Sunny back in December of 2017, so it was like the very end of the year that I got her. So I adopted Sunny through the Nova Scotia SPCA, but I actually got her at a PetSmart adoption. So I'm not sure if you guys know, but PetSmart often adopts out animals from like local animal shelters. So that's what was going on with Sunny. She was from the SPCA, but she was being cared for at PetSmart and was up for adoption there. So that is where I went to adopt her. I adopted her from my PetSmart through the SPCA. Sunny's history was basically entirely unknown when I adopted her. She was dropped at the SPCA doorstep in basically just a box and was just left there. She was not like officially surrendered by her previous owner or anything. She was literally just left in a box on their doorstep, and they found her, and you know, then they did whatever they needed to do before adopting her out. So yeah, her past is entirely unknown. They estimated that she was about 6 months when I adopted her, but that was really all of the information that I had. At the time of adopting Sunny, I already had my other two rabbits, Thumper and Peanut, and my hope for them from the beginning was to have all three of them able to get along and live with each other. So when I first adopted Sunny, I had to keep her separate from my other two rabbits until I worked on the bonding process and was able to house them all together. Anyone who owns rabbits or is just familiar with rabbits probably knows that bonding can sometimes be a long and difficult process. You know, sometimes it happens very fast and easy. Other times it can take a lot of time and a lot of work. I attempted to bond Sunny to Thumper and Peanut for months. At the time that I was trying to bond them, I had people getting mad at me. I had people telling me that I'm clearly not trying enough, that I'm not putting any effort into it, and that I'm just lazy because I wasn't getting any results. And so I guess to some people, because they weren't bonding, it made it seem like I just wasn't making any attempts, but that is the farthest thing from the truth. I didn't want these rabbits like living separate. You know, one, rabbits are social animals. I wanted Sunny to benefit from Thumper and Peanut's company, and also I didn't like maintaining two separate rabbit areas. You know, my goal was always to have one big area that they could share, not a divided area that had to be, you know, taken care of separately. So I can promise you that it was not me just being lazy and not wanting to bond them. There was a period of time where I was taking my rabbits on a car ride, an hour-long car ride, every single day in attempt to bond them. I was having an extremely difficult time bonding them at home, and now all of my rabbits are spayed and neutered, for those wondering, but I just couldn't do it. They were constantly fighting with each other, and it was always Sunny. Sunny was always aggressive towards Thumper and Peanut, and it made bonding them extremely difficult. The only times I could have them together and not fighting was when I took them in the car with me. And so I was hoping that I was going to be able to bond them by starting out with that. So I was getting up every single day and taking my rabbits on an hour-long car ride in attempt to bond them. And after months of having absolutely no success trying to bond them on my own, I then contacted a local rabbit rescue. So right now I live in Ontario, but I used to live in Nova Scotia, so this all happened back when I was still living in Nova Scotia. So I tried for months to bond them and had no luck, so I contacted a local rabbit rescue in Nova Scotia. And so I was in contact with them. You know, they tried helping me bond my rabbits, and basically I ended up coming to the conclusion that Sunny was not going to bond with my rabbits. Sunny was just not going to bond with Thumper and Peanut. She was always too aggressive towards them. And so with the rabbit rescue's help, we then looked at other options, like would she bond with another rabbit? You know, this again was a rabbit rescue. They had lots of rabbits, and we found out no. Sunny just does not seem to get along with rabbits. And now rabbits are social animals. Rabbits, for the most part, always benefit from company, and if you have rabbits, it's always better to keep 2 than just 1. However, there are going to be exceptions for this rule, and I basically ended up finding out that Sunny is one of those exceptions. She is extremely aggressive towards other rabbits immediately. That is just her immediate response, is to attack other rabbits. But she is extremely affectionate towards people. We don't know why she's like this. Again, she is spayed, so it's not a hormonal thing. It could possibly have to do with her past. Again, we don't know any of her past. Maybe she had a bad experience with rabbits before I got her. But whatever it is, Sunny just ended up being one of those rabbits who is extremely aggressive towards other rabbits and does a lot better when she's kept on her own. So that is what I did. The entire time I lived in Nova Scotia, after coming to the conclusion that Sunny was not going to bond to other rabbits, I just continued to care for her as a single rabbit and cared for Thumper and Peanut as a pair. Back in September of 2019, I moved to Ottawa, so I moved houses and everything, and I brought all of my pets with me, including Sunny and Thumper and Peanut, and I was hoping that maybe just the change of house might be enough to possibly bond them again. So once I moved here, I wanted to see if I could bond Sunny to Thumper and Peanut. You know, a long time had passed since I had first attempted. It's a whole new environment, so I wanted to see how it would go, and you know, once again, it was just a major fail. Sunny does not get along with any of the other rabbits, so she could not be bonded to them. So once again, Sunny was just being cared for as a single rabbit, and Thumper and Peanut being cared for as a pair. They were kept separately. I had to have them in separate pens. And yeah, so that's just where we are right now. So basically, where we are right now is Sunny just does not bond to other rabbits, and I was having to care for them entirely separate. So this is where my dilemma comes in. This is where I started having issues, because with Sunny being a lone rabbit and still a social animal, she requires a lot of attention and interaction every single day from people. I mentioned earlier how, you know, despite her being aggressive towards other rabbits, she is extremely affectionate towards people. Like, she loves people so much to the point where, like, she enjoyed going to the vet. Anytime I took her to the vet, she was happy about how many people were there giving her attention. She adored humans despite not liking rabbits. And I was just not able to give her the space and the time that she needed to be happy on her own. Again, these are social animals. They need a lot, and I couldn't do that. And so the fact that I was caring for Sunny and just was not able to give her everything that she needed just made me feel terrible, and it made owning rabbits not enjoyable at all. It just made it feel like a chore. And so I ended up coming to the decision that it was going to be in the best interest of her and my other rabbits to find her a new home. And this was extremely difficult. I don't just mean it was, you know, emotionally difficult for me to find her a new home, which it was, but it was extremely difficult to find a good home for a single rabbit who requires a lot of time and space and, you know, everything. So many people have the misconception that rabbits are easy pets, you know, you can keep it in a small cage and whatever. Well, that is just so not the case. In my opinion, rabbits are more work than a cat is. They require a lot of space, a lot of time, a lot of food, just a lot of stuff. Rabbits need a lot. They are very high maintenance animals. So finding a good home for Sunny was extremely difficult. I started looking in July. I made this decision in July that I was going to rehome Sunny, and I started looking then. It was not until December that I found a home for her, And it was not until a couple days ago that I actually brought her to this home. So it was an extremely hard process. Everyone who contacted me interested, you know, was always just kind of like, oh, my 3-year-old child loves rabbits. I'm sure this would be a great pet. And I was not going to give Sunny to a home like that. I was not going to give Sunny to a home where I knew she would be neglected, where I knew she would probably be rehomed in a few months. The whole reason for me wanting to rehome Sunny was to give her a better life and to give my current rabbits a better life. So I was extremely picky about who I gave Sunny to. I ended up finding a really, really good home for her, and it makes me really happy to know that, you know, the time, I'm sorry that, oh, this is a hard video to make. I ended up finding a really great home for Sunny, and I'm so happy to think about how well she's probably doing there. I ended up finding probably the perfect home for Sunny, if you ask me. So yeah, let's talk about where Sunny is now. So as I mentioned, I started looking back in July to rehome Sunny. I started looking for a new home for her way back in the summer. I was very picky about it. I looked locally here in Ottawa for a very long time, and I had basically no luck. I had no luck finding a home that I felt comfortable sending her to. I couldn't find anyone who I felt was a responsible owner for her. So I then expanded the areas I was looking at to all of Ontario. I was willing to drive as far as I needed to bring her to a good home, and that's what I ended up doing. So I ended up finding Sunny a really great home in Toronto, which is about 4 hours away from me. So Sunny went to a girl in Toronto who lives in an apartment and doesn't have any other pets. Sunny is now her only pet. She works from home, so she's home all the time. And Sunny gets to free roam her apartment. And you know, I had video calls with her. She told me that she watches some rabbit YouTube channels. She mentioned like Len and the Bunny, which in my opinion is a great channel for someone who is looking to have a free roam rabbit. So I was just really, really happy to hear, you know, the amount of research she was doing and the amount of time and effort she was willing to put into caring for Sunny. And she was so great and patient. We made these plans back in December. It was December that she contacted me saying she was interested in giving Sunny a home. And then, so we decided that, you know, she was going to take Sunny. She then went and took a couple weeks to, you know, buy all of the supplies that she needed in order to prepare for Sunny and just like, you know, continue researching and stuff. And then I was going to drive down to Toronto to bring Sunny to her. And then I ended up having a bunch of car issues over the past few weeks, and then I had to delay it a few times. You know, I had to postpone these plans to bring Sunny to her like on two separate occasions, 2 different weekends, and she was great and patient, which was amazing because, you know, if someone is willing to wait this long, it, you know, tells you that they're serious about wanting this animal. So over this past weekend, Josh and I made the drive down to Toronto to bring Sunny to her new home. You know, normally if I was going to Toronto, which is 4 hours away from me, I'd make a whole trip out of it or something, but because of COVID and everything, that's not really a possibility right now. So we left on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, and then we got back Sunday night. So we drove a total of like 10 hours to bring Sunny to her new home and come back, and Sunny has been there since. The girl who I rehomed Sunny to has been messaging me with some updates of her, telling me that she's been exploring around her apartment and she's been very friendly and letting her pet them and everything. So it's made me really, really happy to hear. You know, I came home from rehoming her and came to do my pet chores and just started crying looking at her empty pen. And so it was really hard, but thinking about the life that she's going to live now and how much better it's going to be for her, and I'm just really happy for her, knowing that she is getting the life that she deserves, that I feel so terrible that I couldn't give her. A lot of people, you know, noticed that I stopped making rabbit videos or just small animal videos in general, and there's a few reasons for that. The main reason why I stopped making videos about my rabbits and small animals was because I felt like I had nothing to contribute. There's already a lot of really great rabbit and hamster channels out there that have really great information. You know, I felt like there was nothing else that I could say or do that isn't already out there. And, you know, when it comes to my reptiles and stuff, I don't feel that way. You know, I feel like I have a lot to contribute when it comes to reptiles. But as far as my rabbits and hamsters and small animals go, I just felt like I had nothing to contribute. And, you know, the whole past year, basically, I've been dealing with this situation of trying to rehome Sunny. Like I said, I started looking back in July for a new home for her, but you know, I didn't want to say anything about it until I had found her a new home, you know. Yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to wait until it was done to talk about it, so because of that, I just never wanted to make any rabbit videos or anything. So yeah, as of right now, Sunny is no longer in my care. Sunny is living with a new owner in Toronto, and from what I'm seeing, she's very happy. She's settling in really well, and just overall, yeah, I think she's going to do really well there. So as of right now, Sunny is at her new home in Toronto, and Thumper and Peanut are still with me here, so they are currently living in a room all by themselves. They have the entire thing to themselves now. It is no longer a split room to share with Sunny. So I'm hoping soon I can give you guys a good update on my rabbits and their room, and finally get to show it to you guys and bring rabbits back to my channel. I know that people have their opinions when it comes to rehoming animals. In my opinion, you know, you should never get an animal with intentions of rehoming it. You know, you should never get a rabbit and be like, it's fine though, because I can just rehome it in a year if I don't want it anymore. You should always plan to keep that animal for its whole life. However, I am not at all against rehoming animals when it is the right thing to do. Life changes, things happen, it's unpredictable. You never know where you're going to be 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. You know, plan to the best of your abilities, but if you need to rehome an animal for their own well-being or for your well-being, please don't hesitate to do it, and please don't feel ashamed. Please don't feel like you failed or anything, because you're doing the best you can. You recognize that your animal would benefit from a different home, and as long as you're doing everything that you can to make sure they go to a good home, you should not feel bad about yourself, you know. It is hard. It's hard to not feel bad. I would be very much lying if I said I haven't felt guilty or sad about rehoming her, but in the end, I know that it's going to be so much better for her. It's going to be so much better for my other rabbits. It's going to be so much better for me, and now she gets to bring joy to a new owner and a new family who's going to love and appreciate her, which makes me very happy to think about. You know, I don't think you should get animals with plans of rehoming them. I don't think you should, you know, constantly be rehoming animals and getting new ones and rehoming them and getting new ones and just going through a cycle like that. But if you need to make the decision to rehome an animal, it's okay. It's okay. And, you know, some people might not think that, but you need to take care of yourself and you need to take care of your pets, and that is all that matters. Other people's opinions shouldn't. Please think about yourself and think about your animal. So yeah, I'm just going to end this video now. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I just wanted to come on and give this update that Sunny has been rehomed. She is with an amazing owner and she's going to have a great life, and I know I did the right thing, and I know now that my other two rabbits are also going to live much better lives, and you know, it's just going to benefit everyone involved, every animal involved. So yeah, that is what happened to Sunny. You know, out of all of my rabbits, I'll be honest and say that Sunny was who I was closest to. Like I mentioned before, Thumper and Peanut, you know, they're a bonded pair. Sunny was alone, so she required a lot more human interaction, and she was just a very people-friendly person. And so because of that, I was definitely the closest with Sunny out of all of my rabbits. So it was not a decision at all that I made lightly to rehome her. Again, this was very much something I did to benefit my rabbits. And, you know, this was not me being selfish. If I was being selfish, I would have kept Sunny, but I need to think about her and my animals. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here now. Thank you for watching, and I hope that most of you at least will understand why I did what I did, and yeah, that's about all I have to say right now.